Y'all, this your boy King Ed the Great coming at y'all with another video. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button for me. Now I want to ask y'all this question here. Is Joe Budden bitter? I will have to say this. He is probably one of the few artists that has overachieved and underachieved at the same time. What do you mean when I say he overachieved? Well, considering the fact that dude hasn't really sold any records, like a lot of records, he was able to maintain his stature in the culture. From podcasting, the everyday struggle, in which gained him some notoriety, being on reality shows like Love and Hip Hop, smashing a lot of the baddest chicks. I mean, despite the fact that dude only had one gold album, he was able to take advantage of the opportunities that was given to him. And being that he was an artist at Def Jam, and being that he was under these labels, people use him as the go-to guy to talk to when it comes to experiences on understanding how these labels work and the business aspect of hip hop. So, considering the fact that he created a new brand despite his music career not taking off like he wanted it, that's an achievement of his own. Now, how he underachieved, however, look at how many chances this dude had. For one, a lot of people will probably say that he was ahead of his time when it came to delivering content. Like, if you listen to the Mood Music series, a lot of the stuff that Drake and all those guys are just whining on record about, Joe Budden has already talked about. But it wasn't appreciated at that time because of the transitions that hip-hop was making. Now, how he underachieved, however, is when he came up under Clue, the A-Team, which was Stack Bundles, Kane, Fabulous, and Ransom. He came up under them spitters. Then he goes and get a deal with Def Jam. Puts out Pumpin' Up, which is one of the biggest records of 2003. You could even hear that joint on NASCAR games. That record was so huge. The Def Jam deal was so good, even had Joe Budden in a video game. Def Jam Vendetta. 2 video games, as a matter of fact. You can't sleep on exposure like that. And I think that's where he's bitter at, because the cards didn't come as his favorite. Then he sees these young guys coming in out of nowhere that he knows that he's more superior than on the mic, eating better than him. That's why when you look at Everyday Struggle when he was on there and he's chastising these rappers, it's really some hate there, some disdain there, because it's like, man, I'm nicer than these bozos, and they came in my lane and now they eating well than me. So then he forms Slaughterhouse and he goes under Eminem. You don't get no bigger cosigns than that. And that situation didn't pan out like it did. So there's a lot of bitterness there, I could tell, with Joe. Because, you had all these cosigns, all these big deals. You dealt with Jay, you dealt with Eminem, you dealt with Clue. Big cosigns, I might add. And his career didn't fall in favor of those numbers that should have been transitioning to. So in a way, he's happy, but at the same time, there's days where you could tell there's some bitterness there, because he's looking at the rap game now and he's looking at it like, dang, I'm nicer than most of these guys, and yet they're selling bajillion records. Whereas you see guys like Drake, he's excelling in a lane that I created for him. And plus, people don't know that Joe Budden was one of the few rappers to jump on the internet wave. He created Joe Budden TV before a lot of rappers did. So we got to prop him up for that. So let me know what you guys think. You think Joe Budden is bitter? Let me know. King Eric the Great signing out. Holla at your boy.